Hey, welcome to Wednesday. Today we are learning about mental maps, so we'll explain that more in a second, but first the warm-up. Pick a location that isn't too close to where you live, but still know how to get to, and explain in as much detail how to get there. If you're a little confused as to what to do, the best advice is to pick school, so if you live across the street, obviously don't do that, that would be boring. But if the school is still a few blocks down, do that. If you are really close to school, I would say some like a friend's house or a family member's house or a store that you go to a lot and just kind of explain the process of how you get there. Some last details is like you do not need street names. If you know them, by all means, put them in. But if you don't, you can just kind of say, hey, I head down the block, I take a right for about 2-3 blocks, I pass Slim's, and then I take a left there. That would just kind of be an example of using a landmark and other general ideas. Moving forward, you have your mental map analysis activity. You get in there. All right, so your learning target. I can explain what a mental map is and how it is useful in your day-to-day life. The definition of a mental map is basically a map in your head. So you guys go from classroom to classroom every day, and you know where to go and how to get there. And you might even have different routes than other kids. Those are your mental maps. For example, I drive to work every day and I can explain you in painful detail exactly how to get there. So a mental map is basically how you understand space and how you understand your neighborhood and what it is around you, but it's all in your head. So first, you're kind of predicting / your opinion why they're important and how you use them in your day-to-day life. I did give you a few examples just now, so do not use mine. And if you do something similar, either explain it a little different, put it in your own words, or just kind of make it more personal to you. Now, for the actual activity, you are going to be analyzing my mental map of Brooklyn Park. It's not perfect. It went through the copy machine, so like the lines on here isn't perfect, but you can generally get a good idea. This is Brooklyn Boulevard. This is the street the actual school is on. There's Zane. And you are using this to answer these questions. Basically, a mental map. You can get an idea of how a person thinks or what they do in a neighborhood, what's important to them. For example, just kind of look at what I include, what I don't include, and then you're just kind of thinking, what does Mr. Stallman actually do in the neighborhood, and how has that shaped his mental map? When you are done with this, you submit it as always, and then you go back to your folder, and you do your own mental map activities. So if you're our V-Day kids, we are going to send you home with a large piece of paper if you do not have like this type of paper at home. And the directions are in here, but what you do is basically you take that blank piece of paper. On the front side, you draw a line right down the middle, and then you don't have to follow the timing. Obviously, take your time. When you turn these in, it'd be pretty cool if you guys did some detail. But start on the first half of, so you got your paper, and it's split in half, and then on one side of the paper, we want you to draw a detailed map of your room. So where's your bed, where's your dresser, that type of thing. If you really are not comfortable using your bedroom, try to pick a room in your home or a room somewhere that you know really, really well. From there, on the other side, you're now going to make a mental map of Northview on the other half of your paper. You use as many details as you can. Label teachers' rooms, or at least the subject, the bathrooms, the cafeteria. Do your best to try to kind of map it out in your head. And then finally, you flip over the piece of paper, and then we'll see how well you know Brooklyn Park. And it'll be kind of fun. You can compare it to mine. My guess is that some of you, every year we have kids who are ones who are more explorers, and they can make ridiculously detailed ones. Yours doesn't need to be perfect. I would suggest that you stay away from Google Maps because that kind of defeats the purpose. But yeah, try to think of different landmarks, places you and your family go. One last time, it really doesn't need to be perfect. Do your best, and then you will turn that in person when you come back to school.